America just lost one of its last living witnesses to one of the darkest acts of racial terror in this country. Viola Fletcher, the oldest known survivor of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, died today at 111 years old. Her family says she passed with a smile on her face, surrounded by love, and still carrying the weight of a story that this nation has spent a century trying to forget. Called Mother Fletcher by the community, she survived the night when a white mob burned Tulsa's Greenwood district to the ground. She was 7 years old when she saw Black families running for their lives, running for their homes, and running for their businesses, which were set on fire. She saw bodies in the streets. She saw gruesome amounts of racial terror. But she didn't stop there, locked in a position of pain. Instead, she spent the last years of her life telling the truth. She spent every year of her life telling the truth. And in her final days, even as she sued the city of Tulsa for its role in destroying what was known as Black Wall Street, she never stopped fighting. She never stopped forcing America to reckon with the past and to reckon with that truth. Uh, Now her passing leaves 111-year-old Leslie Benningfield Randall as the only living survivor. Now, Randall told the family that she loved Mother Fletcher and was heartbroken that she couldn't be by her side. Their brother in struggle, Hughes Van Ellis, died last year at 102 years old. These three elders carried the memory of a massacre that authorities tried to erase with lies, with silence, and with denied insurance claims that were worth millions of dollars in today's money. The massacre began, if you don't know, when a white lynch mob formed uh, because there were false rumors that a Black teen had assaulted a white girl in an elevator. By the next morning, Greenwood was reduced to rubble. Churches, schools, hospital, more than 1,000 Black homes, all gone. And for decades, the city offered no repair and no apology. Even a century later, the survivors' search for justice has hit wall after wall after wall. The Oklahoma Supreme Court dismissed their lawsuit back in June, and the Department of Justice said this year it cannot pursue criminal charges because the perpetrators are long dead and the statute of limitations has expired. Yet the trauma still lives in families who lost everything. And now Tulsa officials are proposing a private trust worth more than $100 million to invest in housing, culture, and education. They also want to invest in maintaining and nurturing and nourishing Black businesses, small, local Black businesses. It's all part of what they call a road to repair. Anyway, it's all happening right now because of the struggle of people like Mother Fletcher. But none of it matters until there is a commitment to reparations. She has spent her entire life, over a century, fighting for justice, fighting for them to repair the damage that has been done. And the state refuses to do it. But this is a microcosm of a bigger problem, which is that the destruction of Black businesses, destruction of Black communities, destruction of Black life has never been acknowledged by the state, much less repaired. When we think about how this nation was built on the exploited labor of enslaved Africans brought to America and ultimately unremunerated, it's a reminder. We saw what Black Wall Street was, and we can only imagine what Black Wall Street could have been. But imagine what America would be without exploited Black labor, and imagine what our community could have been if those resources had stayed inside our community. Imagine what this place would be like without these companies, without these railroad companies, these insurance companies, these universities, all these businesses that benefited and these industries that bloomed because of exploited Black labor, because of enslaved African labor. We're still paying the price for it as a community, and we should have it repaired. The death of Mother Fletcher is a reminder. It is a clear reminder that it is time to repair the damage done. That is the only way to properly honor her. That's the only way to properly honor her legacy. That's the only way to address her demands and the demands of all of our ancestors. So may she rest in peace, and may we continue to fight.